is peak Delco Baseball Now after dark.
Yeah, just throwing it out there.
I need to, let's see. I'm trying to get it on Instagram. Connect streaming software. Oh wait, yeah, I think we're good. All right, cool. And now I just go like share it on anything else. Anybody listening to this recording on like Spotify or SoundCloud or anything after, we're just getting the live stream going here.
I just got the message.
For which one? Instagram or Twitter?
Instagram.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna retweet it on because we just showed up on Twitter.
Hell yeah.
All right, cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, yeah.
Live.
Yeah,
right,
I think we should be good. All right, welcome in everybody. Delco Baseball Now after dark here today. We got state semifinals to preview. We got Bonner taking on Hollidaysburg tomorrow. We got some crazy college baseball stuff. If you did not watch the Clemson Florida game, you missed out. Not just because we had our Delco guy Alden Mathis in it, because that game was nuts,
insane.
That game was nuts. I think it ended 11-10.
Yeah, 11-10 and 13 innings.
That was ridiculous. We had our MSBL doubleheader, so I was like following along the whole time. I mean, we'll get into that a little bit after the high school stuff as we wait for people to trickle in here. But it's just the college baseball tournament it's ridiculous.
Just very underrated postseason. It really is. Like
there's no other sports where genuinely the last team in the dance can actually win the whole thing. Like there will never be a 16 seed in March Madness that wins the whole thing. Like they can win a game, maybe two, but that'll never happen. And Ole Miss was the last team in the 1 year. Florida probably shouldn't have even made it this year.
Dude, they're like 500 and they're in the World Series now. Yeah. They're so talented though.
They were just waiting to wake up here. But all right, before we talk about the state semifinals, Bonner and Hollidaysburg, we'll just kind of wrap up the district tournament because I think the last time we recorded was the day before the district championship because I was moving and we just had so much stuff going on that we didn't have a good time to do it. But so that district championship, shout out our Marple guys, second district championship in program history, which is kind of hilarious, like having a state championship. And before this, they only had one district championship to go along with that. I still think it's hilarious that in 2018 they won the state and they didn't even win the district. Like that's just so funny to me.
Yeah, no, it is like just weird. Stuff like that can happen though. I mean, you see, like we were just talking about college, like some of these teams that are going to go really far, like maybe didn't do well in their conference tournament. It's kind of the same idea of like,
yeah, just get out at the right time. That's all that matters. Yeah. All right. Well, Marple. It was all Marple in this one. They kind of ran through. I mean, I think in the district tournament, I think they outscored teams like 38-9 or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, their closest game was Phoenixville in the first round.
Yeah. So they won that one 11-3. Big day at the plate from really say anybody. Everyone. I mean, Aiden Pearson had 3 hits. Bennett Cox was 2 for 3 with a walk. Aiden Curran, I think, was 2 for 3 with a walk. Through 5 shutout innings. Sorry, not 5 shutout, 5 innings with 0 earned runs. And the one thing I remember from that game was it was kind of sloppy early on for both sides.
Yeah, it was definitely like a rough. I mean, it was a rough first inning for both. I mean, way more so for Radnor, but it definitely like a lot of base runners, just a lot of traffic going on, and also then there was the fire that'll.
Yeah, we were trying to announce this game, and we keep smelling smoke. We see the news choppers. What was it? What was the place called? Somewhere in
Ambrosia.
I think it was like Manbrosis or something.
Amorosas, the Ambrosias.
I'm gonna look it up because I think someone DM'd it to me. I think it's Manbrosos.
Manbrosos.
Yeah, I thought they were saying D'Ambrosio.
I thought so
yeah.
too.
Apparently not. Yeah.
Well, we're here now.
But so Marple won this one 11-3 as their second title. It's just got to be, it was a great feeling, but then it's got to be like mixed feelings after the way that their state playoff game went. Like obviously it's still a great season. You win your district championship, you get all that, but like to go out the way they did, I'm sure that had to sting a little bit too.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I was at that game. It was just I was one of those ones where I got back in my car and I think I texted. I was like, what just happened?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely got to be a shell shock, like especially with how well, with how it's just how well they played in districts to have it then come back and be like, it was like you said, what was that? It just seemed like a what could go wrong did go wrong like type of
Yeah, it
game.
just like I don't know. In the most respectful way, they just kind of got their ass kicked. Like
Yeah, and hey,
and
it happened.
Shippensburg went like
It's
they
baseball.
had a
They played
very good
well.
lineup. Like they hit everything hard. I mean, 1 through 9, their lineup looked really good, and just I think called them on an off day maybe. And
See, they still going.
you are where you are.
I think the other side is it them and Selinsgrove. I think they're
They
still going.
lost. They lost to Selinsgrove.
Oh, okay. Wait, so it's
So no,
Selinsgrove and
Shippensburg
Governor
lost.
Mifflin.
Yeah,
It's
so it's,
Governor Mifflin. Okay, so
yeah,
that's the other game. So yeah, so the
Governor
winner of
Mifflin's usually good.
Bonner and Hollidaysburg will play either. Well, Selinsgrove lost to Strathaven last year in that game with the smoke. Ironically, the game where we didn't even go. Remember, because there was like the wildfires. Oh, I think we lost Ben for a sec. Yeah, that was the game last year where I think Bonner played Bethel Park that day, and it was just so smoky that you couldn't see anything. Wait, we getting you back, Ben? There we go. We got. Can you hear me? I can see him. It's a little glitchy now.
Wait,
All
say
right.
that.
Yeah, there we go. I think
Yeah,
we got.
say
You back.
I
I think I
I'm
was
gonna
saying.
be honest. I missed your entire statement.
No, I
That was
realized.
all-
I just
that
kept
was
it going.
all
Yeah,
gone.
no, you're good. I pretty much was just talking about last year how Selinsgrove lost to Strathaven in that game with the smoke, with the
Oh
wildfire
yeah.
smoke. I'm pretty sure that was that same day there. But so yeah, that'll be the other side of the bracket. Real quick, we'll wrap up with Radnor. So my first question about this game is they lost to Whitehall 5-1. What is a Zephyr? Because that is their team name. I have no idea. I'm
No,
gonna
wait.
look it
I
up.
was thinking it was Zeppelin because I was like, maybe
Zephyr?
it's like a blimp.
Is it like one of those
What is
fake
a
animals,
Zephyr?
like a griffin? Well, according to
Um,
Merriam-Webster, it is a breeze from the west, but I don't really know what that would mean.
like a wind.
Wait, so like
I don't
your team
know.
mascot, you are a gust of wind. What
They're
does
a
that even
gentle
mean?
breeze. They're
A
a gentle
gentle
breeze.
breeze. What does that even mean?
The Whitehall is gentle breezes. There's got to be like a different.
So all right, so their logo looks almost like it's a Z for Zephyr and like the shape of a train, maybe. Like I'm gonna hear. I think I can share my screen on this. Hang on.
Yeah, it's so there's
This one
Zephyrus,
kind of
an
cuts off.
ancient Greek god that is the personification of the west wind. It sounds like they're just wind.
Yeah. All right. Hang on. I'm gonna share my screen for anybody watching. I want to see if we can get some opinions on this here.
Yeah, a
All
light
right. So
wind.
it's this one right here on the right. I mean, it looks like a train, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a train.
Some type of like you think this would be the logo for like a team that's like the Express, I guess.
Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe like is there some kind of train that's called a Zephyr?
I guess I don't know. Shout out, yeah, the Mainline Legion account replied and said a train. That's what I'm thinking, but
All right, cool.
I don't
Thank
know.
you, Mainline
We al-
Legion.
but we also had some interesting ones. Like this looks like a gopher,
That's a
and
beaver.
this looks like a New
Or-
Orleans Saints like kind of logo. So there's a lot going on here.
I feel like
I
a
think you could
Zephyr,
just.
Zephyr might just be what you make of it. Like it's one of
I
those.
was gonna say, I think you could just pick the name Zephyr and just put whatever you want on it. All right,
Like the whatever rodent that is.
I have no
That's
idea.
just taking too
Bizarre.
many artistic liberties. I don't know what.
Yeah. All right. Well, unfortunately, the Zephyrs took this one over Radnor. That was a 12 o'clock start at Whitehall, which is tough for Radnor. That's I think they had their graduation. It was tough because Austin Everson got the first 2 outs, and then Whitehall just exploded. They had like 7 straight runners reach. I think they scored 4 runs. Like they just kind of they put up 4 runs in a game that ended 5-1. Like it was pretty anticlimactic after that. That first inning, things kind of quieted down. But I mean, as mentioned, great year for Radnor. Like they were a team that we pretty much had said like we thought was kind of a year away from being like a legit like centrally contender, deep playoff run contender, and they definitely the Burners were right in that regard. But it sucks that their run came to an end. But I think that these guys have a lot to build off of, knowing that they have that experience from this year.
Yeah, for sure. I think like this is. I don't know. I feel like it's almost like the perfect run for them to have. Of like, it wasn't one of those things where it's not like they made like this like state final run and it was like this, they kind of like got there, got a little taste of it, and now like you have and for most of their cases, 2 years to build on that. That's
they have a ton of guys coming back next year. I know that.
They're going to be. I mean, they're going to be a contender for the league, district, potentially state for the next 2 years, probably.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, with anytime having Mark Jordan there has to be the number one thing. Like he's won pretty much everywhere he's been, and having him there, they always got that going for them. And I think Andres Cruz is a senior. I think Andrew Barbarese is a senior. I'm pretty sure. But other than that, like I could be missing guys. I know, but a lot of the core from this year will be back fine. I'm not sure what he is. Let's see if I can find it on here. But all right, let's look this up real quick. Also, I think the All Central League team, Zach Fine's a junior. Okay. I think the All Central League teams came out and all that. I think some people that DM'd us thought that we chose them. Like people weren't like complaining or like thank you, like whatever. They were just like asking for the full list and all that. I'm like, we have nothing to do with this. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like,
were we getting tagged in it, or was it just like,
I don't know. I think some people just asked like, if we had the full list, or if we could send them the full list, or do you know like when it'll be out? Like, no, no. I mean, I think probably what we'll do is just once Bonner's done, we'll just kind of reach out to all the coaches. Really, the easiest way to do it is just allow us, access to Game Changer. Like, it's so once the season's over, who cares? I get when teams are playing that they don't want us, like to have full access. Like Bonner's are public, which we appreciate, but I totally get when stats are private. You got to try and keep any competitive advantage you can.
For sure. No,
I'm sure if I was a head coach, I'd do the same thing. You don't want those idiots in the media giving away your secrets. All we need is a Hollidaysburg fan to stumble upon and be like, oh, these are the guys that we got to watch out for.
Yeah, full scout. Honestly, that could be like our stuff. You could probably create a pretty decent scouting report on like us just talking about people
honestly
on some of these teams.
That the goal. Yeah.
That could be an issue on our part.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get in trouble here, but hey, it's worked for Bonner so far. So let's talk about this game coming up, and honestly, we'll just real quick talk about how Bonner got here. So they started off, they beat Upper Dublin 5-3. That was on Monday. I was at that game. There were times where it got a little dicey. Upper Dublin led 1-0 early on. They had their ace Austin Dahl on the mound. This guy had only allowed one run, or at least one earned run, in like 61 innings this year. So like going into, I think it was like the fourth inning, it was 1-0. The Bonner guys, like he was throwing a lot of high fastballs. They just couldn't lay off of it early on. So that was something that the second time and third time through the order, they kind of started to be more selective. CJ Nocella, or Nocella, I apologize. I know the pronunciation, because usually like Ricciardi, the double C makes the CH noise. I don't know if it's Nocella or Nocella.
I think it's Nocella.
All right, well, let's call him CJ. Launched first career home run, number one. First career home run over the left field wall. It looked pretty good off the bat, but he was like, "Yeah, I never hit one, so I don't know if I didn't know off the bat if it was gone or not." But so that kind of sparked. There was a seesaw in this game, because then Upper Dublin went up 3-2. Bonner came back, made it 4-3. I think Austin Cannon had the go-ahead single in that one, and then Sergio Hernandez added an insurance run. But yeah, I mean that was a game where they were the first team to solve Austin Dahl and Upper Dublin all year, and it took them that long to figure it out. But I think once that, I think it was like fourth inning came and fifth inning came, they started to pick out better pitches, and it was definitely a gutsy win.
Yeah, for sure. That's what it seemed like. The whole, I mean, and just kind of hanging in with that. I know Dahl kind of came in with like a decent amount of hype. Maybe, I mean, at least like, I guess we got some Upper Dublin burners.
Upper Dublin burners were
they were big on him.
See, now my question is, do you think they're actually Upper Dublin people, or do you think they're Delco people that don't like the Delco teams that they're playing?
I have absolutely no clue. I have no clue. I feel like it'd take like a little bit of effort to go and be like, "Yo, they got this dude Austin Dahl."
Yeah, but our guys are clever.
They are clever. That's like That'd be respectful, like a
Oh,
respectful
that's
level of
hysterical.
hating
Yeah.
right there.
Now it would be even funnier if you're an upper Dublin player and you see these burner accounts talking about you, and they're like,
I've n-
they're hyping you up. It's like, oh
who
wow,
are these people?
yeah. Well,
Just like,
one of these days, we're actually gonna get an older fan who is like a Delco baseball alum that just has a normal account that looks like one of theirs. Like
what if
Haverford class of
we're like,
'93.
nah, burner.
Yeah, I'm gonna block it. Haverford class of '93. Like, no, that's just actually a fan. But
Jim Smith is
yeah.
in our like
Yeah,
no burner.
exactly.
Just
Well, in
normal
that game,
dude.
Johnny Ortega threw well. I think he threw the first four. Harry Carr threw the last three. I was talking to Harry about it after the game because, like, with Corey Sheridan here this year, his pitching role kind of went down a little bit just because, like, he
Mhm.
didn't have to start as much anymore. Corey was going deep into games, whatever. Now that Corey was ineligible for the playoffs, he kind of got thrown back into that role where it's like, hey, like, we need you to be you're throwing 3 innings of relief on Monday, then you're starting the game on Friday, which is
Yeah.
something that, I mean, I guess in some way, like your body isn't built up for it, but playing shortstop, you're obviously throwing a lot as is, but, very impressive just be able to kind of, come back from not having thrown much this year to coming into a big spot in the playoffs and throwing well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's obviously like losing your ace pitcher puts you at a huge disadvantage. But like yeah, being able to do that and just like go right into that and throw as well as he did because he threw very well in the start on Fridays too. So like, just very impressive to like go in and be able to do that after, kind of maybe not being a main guy during the year. I mean, he was probably like solidly their number three.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, after not like getting like regular starts like he had been, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so you were at that game. It was a 6-4 win over Bethel Park. I guess just talk to us about some of the big moments. A lot of them came early.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot. I mean, yeah, especially on Bonner's side, everything kind of happened early. I know Bethel Park got up 2-0. Mike Bruckner, who is a sophomore and just
That
a
is one of the largest sophomores I've ever seen.
massive
That
human
dude is a
being.
rock. That Bruckner, I feel like, is a good name for a stocky, like, power hitter, right?
Yeah, I don't know if stocky, he was just a big dude.
Yeah.
But
I
he,
saw his like PBR perfect game profile or something. I'm like, holy shit, this guy is
yeah,
massive.
and that was the home run. I don't even think he got all of it.
Yeah.
Like off the bat, I thought it was going to be a pop up, and it just kept going and going and going. So clearly, like a lot of strength too. So they got up 2-0. It was like a little bit concerning. But then Bonner got it right back, and that was the kid. I mean, the kid that Bethel Park threw. We kind of decided that maybe they were trying to get some kind of like junk ball guy to keep them off balance.
Yeah, I don't
That
know. I mean,
strategy did not
yeah.
work at all.
I mean, if you had they had their Virginia Tech commit pitch on Monday, maybe he just wasn't ready because like
I don't think he was.
yeah,
Towards the end, he was. They had him start doing. He was doing plyos in like the top of the seventh in case they tied it. But he did. He threw 78 pitches on Monday, off of 3 days rest. Also, like your D1 commit. He's a
I was
young
gonna say
kid.
you don't want to ruin your kid's
Yeah,
future for this. You have him just go
yeah,
on. Yeah, like having him ready to close is fine, or like having ready to throw like an inning but not starting again.
yeah, for sure. That's. I don't think they were ever gonna start him, but yeah, no, like it was a really good bounce back from Bonner in the first inning. I think they put up 4,
Mhm.
and
I think so. Yeah.
then in the second or third, Austin Cannon hit the 2-run shot. That was just pissed on,
You
man.
knew that one was going off the bat, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That was one of the harder hit balls since I've like started doing this.
Mm.
It's probably that ball and like the one
The one he hit
from
against
Miguel.
the
Oh,
one
and
he
that
hit
one
last
too.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
2 home runs and then like the 2 we saw from Miguel Hugas. Like those are
Yeah.
probably like the hardest hit balls we've seen.
I think the hardest one I've ever seen hit was when Kevin McGonigal homered against Roman Catholic last year. That was just a like
I wasn't there for that.
380-foot line drive that
Yeah,
just like
I mean,
oh my god, just like zoomed through
yeah.
the outfield. But yeah, no, I think that I wrote about it. I think I might have either tweeted about it or wrote about it or something where it's like Austin Cannon's had a good year, but like to his standards, you'd expect just from a pure like statistical standpoint, like some of them, are just like good, not insane. But like I don't know if there's
Mhm.
anyone else I'd rather have up in a big spot because like the dude is a gamer. And you see like
Oh
with the
yeah, for
playoffs,
sure.
you know, like talent gets you far, but having that, you know, the dog in you, right? Like that's the
Mhm.
idea. You know, he's a tough out, and really this whole team, like you're writing the game preview, and usually you want to pick like, you know, 3 or 4 guys on each team, like offensively to talk about, but you go 1 through 9 the Bonner order, these guys are all producing.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what you need to make a deep run is all of these guys are, like you said, they're producing. They're all, I think, having really good at bats. There was no one that like when I went to that game, I don't think there was anyone that I really was like, this dude's like overmatched, like lights are too bright. Like everyone's in there competing, like just doing their thing, and
Yeah.
that makes you a really tough team to beat, especially when you pair that with just the quality of pitching they have.
Yeah, yeah, and you know Ryan Friel broke his thumb in the PCL playoffs, and it's just been next man up for these guys.
Is he done for the year, or is he?
I don't know. I feel like broken thumb
He kind of
probably.
yeah,
I feel like you're probably in like a cast or something for sure. That sucks. You know,
yeah.
speaking of someone who's missed plenty of big games being injured, it's not fun. All you can do is
Can't
just be
imagine.
be as supportive as possible for sure. But all right, so let's talk a little bit about this game. Coming up here. So after Bonner closed that one out, I think Jack Redding threw the last 2 of
Yep.
that game against Bethel Park. 4th straight state semifinals. That's a mouthful. 4th straight state semifinals for the Bonner guys here. We're taking on Hollidaysburg, which I think is a little west of Penn State. Like I was looking it up, you know, because like I'm kind of glad they won, not the Pittsburgh team, because again, that could have been like even further to
I
try and
think either way, it was going to be in that like
think
Hershey,
so.
Lancaster area because
Yeah.
East Pennsboro isn't far from Cumberland Valley.
No, I don't think so.
So I think no matter what, it was going to be in that area because you get like there's just not much. Like there's the Philly area, and then there's kind of like not really anything, and then you get out there. So even since like Hollidaysburg was closer, I just
Yeah, so it looks like Hollidaysburg is pretty close to Altoona. That's probably like the
yeah
closest of, you know, stuff that we actually know about that we can compare it to. Probably like looks like maybe a half hour south. So it's like southwest of State College.
okay.
So from where I am right now in Conshohocken, like 2 blocks over from you, it's about 3 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, that's breaking
Okay.
news on the pod. I'm now a Conshohocken resident. I know this is Delco
So
Baseball Now. Trust me, we'll get back into Delco someday. I promise.
it's a little cheaper living out here.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know.
To be completely
It's right.
honest.
We're close to everything. You know,
Yeah, that's also
15
true
minutes from the
too.
city, 15 minutes from Delco, 20 minutes from Westchester. KOP's right there. Like it's a good
Yeah.
spot to be where we're at in our 20s. But you know, I'll be back in Delco someday. I
Yeah.
can promise that.
What's the like distance makes the heart grow fonder or whatever?
Yeah. Should we just be
Gotta
Concha
leave.
Hockey Baseball now? Follow the
Gotcha.
Plymouth White Marsh.
We only that's the only
Baseball
we
squad.
talk about Plymouth White Marsh. That's the only
Yeah.
team.
All right, let's see.
Yeah,
Real quick, but before we dive into this game, the LaSalle Downingtown East game was
oh my
ridiculous.
god, yeah,
LaSalle won
was
in 15. They won one nothing in 15 innings.
that had to like
That's ridiculous. 1-0.
that had to
in 15
take
innings.
years off the lives of everyone
Oh my
involved in that
god,
game.
yeah.
Like that's just
Imagine having the under in that game, man. That's a thriller.
cool. See, that's the
Oh,
thing
what
though. You're
another-
just sweating that for an
Yeah, I
extra like
know.
8 innings.
Mhm. The over's never dead. Remember that. The under can be dead. The over's never dead.
It was not in that game.
No. All right, let's get into this. So we got some info here on Hollidaysburg. So once again, shout out both teams for having stats public because a lot of this stuff, like if you have your stats private on Game Changer, like people can still go through all the box scores and get the stats. It's just a pain in the ass to do so. I don't want to do it, but you know, sometimes it's like shout out our interns, Ian White Jr. When one of the games, I think it might have been when someone Haverford was playing the Chamonix, whatever it was. He like went through it was Upper Dublin. It was right before the Upper Dublin game.
Okay.
He went through every Upper Dublin game and charted every stat and just added them all together and gave us like averages and ERA. I'm like, that's a work ethic we're looking for. So shout out our guy Ian White Jr. from Haverford School and all of our interns. Fred Jordan, Haverford School, Declan Wayman from Harriton. The boys were great for us this year. So shout out to them. So the name to watch out for this Hollidaysburg team is Carson Kensinger, who has honestly, like, this isn't meant to be disrespectful for the rest of the team. He's kind of been a one-man wrecking crew for this team. So on the mound, he has thrown, ready for this, 43% of their innings this year.
My God.
He has thrown 60.2 out of 140.1. So my guess is they're 16-6. A lot of games are probably spread out because it's
Yeah.
a little less amount of games. So he has a 1.04 ERA. He's struck out 105 hitters in 60 innings. He's going to Frostburg State, which I know is D2. I think it's like Maryland, maybe.
Yeah, it's Maryland.
I remember that kid Jacob Stretch that we played in the Delco League Finals from Aston played there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's the only person I know that went there.
Yeah, they used to be D3, I think, and like really good D3, and then they moved up. But yeah, no, Maryland. I think they're a pretty good baseball school now. They were in the regional this year.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know too much about him. But this guy Carson Kensinger, so on the mound, he's got the 104 ERA. He also leads the team with 7 home runs, and he has a 1303 OPS, and he's hitting 375. He has more extra base hits than singles. Like this dude, it seems like offensively and defensively, like he is the player to watch for the Golden Tigers, actually.
Golden Tiger.
Yeah.
As opposed to like an orange one.
Apparently, yeah.
All right.
Or where Kevin Gondor's on, he's on the Flying Tigers.
Yeah, I looked that up. That's like a military type thing. Like I think a flying tiger was like a nickname for a plane in like the World War II type thing.
Well, hopefully we're learning about what a white cap is, because I think that's their high A team.
Pretty sure. I think I Googled this at one point.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it seems like this team overall, it seems like a little top heavy in the order. They got 2 guys with a plus, an OPS over 1,300. They got this guy, Jake Heilman, who's hitting 493 with a 1,335 OPS. So they got 2 guys with OPS is over 1,300, and then everybody else is under 900. So they have a lot of solid, it seems like a good order, obviously, to get this far, but there's 2 guys that you kind of have to circle and be like, we're not going to let them beat us.
Yeah, for sure. I think those are the 2. And that was, I don't know, I didn't see too many power numbers with Heilman. Like, it seemed like he was a lot of singles. Mm-hmm. But that was, him and Kensinger, I think, seem to be like the 2 guys that have really been, I mean, Kensinger especially, have really just been like carrying this team a little bit.
Yeah, and we have to assume that he's probably going to start because he started last Monday.
Yeah, almost certainly. So that will be him versus Ortega will be a very good matchup.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Like, we never know for sure, but like we're going to assume that Johnny Ortega started for Bonner. He started last Monday. He's been one of their most consistent arms all season. That's but hey, you never know. We're not coaches. If we were coaches, we wouldn't be doing this, right? We thought Marple was starting Aiden Curtin in the first round. They started Jack Mahalik. Like, you never know. We're not in the room. We're just idiots that make guesses.
We're just guessing, educated guesses. But yeah, so I was checking out. I was looking at Kensinger's PBR profile. He was, I think it said like 84, like top velo, and then left-handed pitcher. So
I saw the lefty too. Yeah,
it's gonna be tough. It's definitely gonna be tough.
So the one thing that I noted while looking at their stats as a whole is, outside of Kensinger, like if he were to go over 105 pitches and come out of the game, then their number 2 pitcher threw all 7 on Friday. So he's out. Their number 3 pitcher is a junior with a 6.5 ERA. And then their number 4 this is all in terms of innings pitched, is a freshman. So if they're able to kind of work some long ABs early, hit them around a little bit, get them out of the game, and with the game either winning or within reach, then whoever Hollidaysburg puts out there after him, I don't think they're gonna feel like 1,000% confident. Like, you have a junior that struggled a bit and a freshman in a state semifinal against a lineup of like a lot of seniors and experienced guys.
For sure, yeah, and that's like, it'll be interesting to see what Bonner kind of does with their approach, because obviously, like, you, in that kind of theory, you'd want to work at bats and try and get this guy out as early as possible, but you also don't want to be like too passive and like take a lot of. So it'll be interesting to see like kind of how they balance both of those, because there is like definitely I would imagine that they know like there's not much after this kid, so if we can get him out with it being at least a reasonable score, they probably feel pretty good about their chances of winning that game.
You're right though, that these guys, Bonner likes to swing, and that's not about, like, they're ready to hack at all times. So you're right.
Yeah.
It's like, do we do what's got us here, or just kind of like be like, hey, we're going to be selectively aggressive, just get pick out our pitches and go from there. But yeah, this should be a good game. I mean, Hollidaysburg, same thing, a school we don't really know too much about. I feel like once we get deep into it, like the Whippeal has been kind of like the king of the western side of the state. So seeing like I feel like District 6, at least in the upper levels, isn't like that usually that dominant, like 5A, 6A. It's usually like the schools in Western PA or the schools in Southeastern, right? Or Northeastern, like in that area.
And I was reading about, just going back through for reading a couple articles on the Hollidaysburg team. It seems like I don't know for sure, like what kind of their history is. I mean, I haven't really heard about them doing too much in previous years, but everything that was kind of being said about them was like historical run. So it seems like this is a group that like probably hasn't really been there before. But yeah, no, it was interesting because they've kind of gone through the all those District 7 teams.
Oh no, I mean, yeah, they beat. Hang on, I have the bracket right here. I was looking up at the 6A one, but yeah, they beat
Franklin Regional and Penn Trafford.
Yeah, they beat the Whippeal champion and then the Whippeal 3 seed. So they've been tested so far, and yeah, it's just cool. Like once you get this far in the year, like you have no common opponents with the teams you play. All you can kind of do is go off of like, oh, like teams in this area have been good. Like in the past, like these programs have been pretty solid, but like you never really know, which is why it's so cool. Like in major sports championships, even college sports championships,
a
lot of the teams either played each other or played their rivals, right? Like now this is in high school. It's such a different world in terms of like we have no idea what could happen in any of these games. But we had our Bonner guys on the show before the season started, and I think one of the questions I kind of asked is like, what's it going to take to get over the hump? And you kind of just have to hope at this point it's just like experience, right? Like guys have gotten this far before and can learn from mistakes that they may have made, whether it be mental, physical, whether games they just lost, and understand like what they could be, what they could be doing better, and what it's going to take to get over that hump. If they were to win this game, state championship would be Friday afternoon, 4:30 in State College. Would be pretty cool to go back-to-back years to state title appearances.
Would love nothing more than that, honestly. That would be it'd be fun. Make for a good little weekend there.
Yeah, I'll never turn down an invite back to the Valley.
Oh, of course.
I think also I'd probably make it a point to go and watch more of the games.
Yeah, no, that would be cool. Especially, it's cool that they do because they're doing 3. Are they doing 2, 2, and 2 or 3 and 3?
They're doing 3 and 3 this year. They used to do 2, 2, and 2.
Yeah, that honestly, yeah, it would be really cool to like stay in or stay out there and just see a bunch of those games because it's a very cool event just how they kind of set it up, and you have 6 levels of high school baseball in PA being decided in 2 days in the same spot. Definitely fun to watch.
Yeah, we got to catch a couple last year, but not too much. All right, so yeah, that pretty much wraps up our preview for that game. I'm very excited. I will be there. Ben, are you able, or are you gonna be working?
I don't think I'm going to be able to swing it with work. With it being like, if it was closer, and that's why with the Hollidaysburg, I was hoping, I didn't think it would be, but I was like, maybe. I don't know if I'm able to swing that. Friday for sure. Hopefully they win, and then Friday for sure I'll be.
And no, it's good. You did your part Friday while I was moving into this place to go out there. Yeah. So it's teamwork, getting things done. Our guy John on Twitter though won't be happy that we're not both there.
Yeah, no, I feel like I'm letting him down. But it's all right. I think
we'd both be there for the next round.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a couple updates here. I want to show give a quick shout out to our CYO guys, because I actually saw them like the team. I think it's St. Thomas. Yeah, it's St. Thomas, and at our Delco League game where we played you guys on Wednesday night, whatever night you pitched. Was that Thursday?
Oh, yeah, Thursday, yeah.
They were practicing at O'Hare, like they were hitting the cages, I think, or they went down to like the turf or something.
Oh, no way.
I saw a couple kids get out of the car with like what I thought was the logo, and then I like yell over. I'm like, hey, like you guys like St. Thomas's team? And they're yeah. I'm like, is one of you guys like Mr. Potts, like Jake Potts from High Point's dad?
Oh, yeah.
These kids on the team too. Or Jake's brother. And I was like, aren't you guys Mr. Potts? And he's like, that's me. I'm like, I'm Brendan. Like I run the account. We like DM'd about it, and I told him, I'm like, listen, if Bonner loses on Friday, I'll be at your game. If not, I won't. But I told him I'd give him the shout out. growing up in all like, I didn't really do much of the CYO world. Like I
Neither
didn't
did
realize
I.
it's like a pretty big deal in that, in that community.
Oh yeah, no, it's huge because that was like growing up in Springfield. I was like one of the few kids who was not playing CYO, and like it's hilarious because we had. I mean, at that point when I was in school, it was St. Francis, St. Kevin's, Holy Cross, and like you'd have like rivalries like in the school of like kids playing for the different parishes. It's a really big deal.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah. No, I feel like CYO basketball is the big one.
Yeah, basketball is a big one. Football, there's a who plays, I think it's France. Who someone plays a really big football game, and then like baseball is also, I mean, just having played baseball, that was always kind of the one that was prominent in my mind. But yeah, they're all like a big deal.
Yeah. So that game will be at 5:45 at O'Hara tomorrow. So Monday night, they're playing Corpus Christi, which is Lansdale. And this is
Okay.
it. Like this is the last game. Like if they win or lose, like this is like the Archdiocese tournament. They're done no matter what.
So this is the championship.
This is
Like,
the championship. This is it. Yeah.
oh, all right, let's go.
So good luck to the boys. I told them like, listen, I won't be able to be there, but if you can if you want to send me like a little recap or give me the game changer or whatever, they sent me a couple like stock pictures that I can use. But
Sweet.
I also want to talk real quick about the Barrett All-Star game. They gave me a shirt
Oh,
for
yeah,
being
great
there.
time.
So that was a really cool event this year. For anyone who doesn't know, it's all the seniors in, I think they had, let's see, so they had a Central League team, and then I kind of just called it like the field because it was they call it Del Val, but like the Interact kids were there, the PCL kids were there, Sun Valley was on that team, but they had graduation. So like I mean, I feel like it's like almost as like the outsiders, like they're not the Central League.
Yeah,
Like
it's essentially
team,
versus the rest
but
of like Delco,
yeah,
basically.
no, it was cool, man. A lot of the best players in the area were playing. It was cool. I think it's something that we can kind of help give a bigger platform to, like in years to come. Maybe like do streams with it, or just like do more interviews, like whatever it may be. Because a lot of the
Yeah,
guys that we're covering all year are together at one time, and the best of the best were playing, man. Like Tate Davis was playing, Kevin Reevy pitched, like all the Marple guys, they had lost just a couple days before, and like they were all playing. Like it was cool to see everybody out there, and they're all seniors who are graduating, so that it's all the last time that they would put the jerseys on.
yeah, it's a really awesome event, and I'm kind of excited. Hopefully, we get to keep doing more. I'm sad I missed it. I forget what was going on, but unfortunately, couldn't make it that day. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think that'd be something that'd be really cool to like keep doing more and more with them because it is such a fun event.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
there's cool
Ben,
ladies
Upper
out
Darby
there.
Blue Sox legend Brennan Till says, "What's up to you?"
Let's go. What's up, Brennan?
The boy, PCLM offensive player of the year, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No,
It's
I did like.
having a good year for the Sox too so far.
Yeah. Well, I think it was when I think I got on like a fielder's choice or something against you guys, and like I think he was at second and Matt Queer was at short, and I said something like, I'm covering all you guys all year, and then I go in and play, and it's like you guys have been playing for months, and meanwhile, like I'm on my fourth at bat since August, being like, all right, I made contact today, that's cool.
This is
Go from there, yeah. Like everybody else is, I mean, it's my first year out of college. Like, first time playing in the Delco League where it's just like, shit, man. Like everybody else is so far ahead right now. And like on a team like Wayne that you only get so many chances, it's like, all right. This is why we have MSBL to go play with the rest of us.
You had a great sacrifice bunt. Really,
I did get the bunt down. I did, yeah.
So
Ben struck me out in the MSBL league. That was last week. I faced him in the Delco League, and Sean Mulholland comes up to me and he's like, Ricciardi, can you get a bunt down? I'm like, yeah, I can. And I did. I didn't want to, but I did. And hey, we're whatever the team needs, right?
Of course, a team player.
Yeah.
Team player.
But all right, let's wrap the show up here with some of our college guys. So we'll talk about our two national championship teams that had Delco, but we need to talk about this Clemson game first.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was ridiculous. So Clemson was down. Let's just fast forward a little bit. They were down 9-6. Cam Cantarella hit a 3-run homer to tie the game, and then made an absurd running like Willie Mays, like running back,
jumping straight field. Back. That was
jumping into the fence. And then Marple Newtown alum Alden Mathis launched a solo homer in the top of the 13th. He spiked his bat. It looked like he got ejected. He didn't. It was their coaches. But he I mean, that was just an unreal moment, and it sucks so bad that they lost this game. That it's always going to have a sour taste in the mouth. But like that, first off, that Clemson atmosphere was insane,
Oh
and
yeah,
to be able to
they
deliver
go
a moment
after
like
down
that,
there.
he only spent 1 year in Clemson, but they're going to love him down there.
Yeah, for sure. That was a really cool moment. Like, unfortunate that whole game was like a little bit of an show too. There was something you see early on.
Yeah,
There
guy
was
got
like
ejected because like the ump started like fucking putting him in a chokehold.
yeah, it was the weirdest. Like he was rounding third and like ran into the umpire and got ejected. Meanwhile, there's like two like Caglione and whoever it was that hit the ground ball were like just going at it on the first baseline.
Yeah,
And the a dude like completely away from the play gets like thrown out.
it's
I
very
don't know
ump
why
show.
any of that stuff is even present in college baseball. I don't know what the excessive celebration, like all that stuff. Like, why
Bro,
does it exist?
there's a huge difference between like trying to show someone up and celebrating like with your team. Like Alden's bat spike, bro.
Yeah,
He's
like
like
a bat
staring right.
spike on a home run in the
He's
13th inning of a super regional. Like, dude, like what? What do
he's
you want me to?
staring right at his dugout, getting his
Yeah,
team and their fans up. Like if that was Florida's dugout and he does the spike and stares at that, like obviously that's like ridiculous.
even if it's that, whatever. Don't give up a home run. Like,
Agreed, but like I'm saying it's different if you're trying to like
yeah,
he
for
wasn't
sure.
taunting
Yeah,
an entire other dugout. He was just
no, yeah,
fired up. And I mean, it was no doubter off the bat, and they end up losing the bottom of the 13th. But I mean, what a year for Alden! Like to go
yeah,
from playing it, and this isn't no shot at Richmond, but like a team where you probably know that you're not going to Omaha, right? Like you can maybe make the tournament, have a fun run, but like it's a long road to Omaha to go right into Clemson to going to play like incredibly meaningful Power Five, like baseball, go in a super regional and get himself in a position where hopefully this is not the last year he's playing high level baseball like this.
yeah. No, hopefully, and that's obviously going from like one level to even like a higher level, especially like a Power Five D1 like that. You always kind of worry about how that transition is going to go. I mean, it went. I don't think it could go any better for
Yeah.
him, really.
Yeah,
And
and like I'll listen. I'll be the first to admit. I think I've even said this to him before, and I know I'm not the only one that's ever said this. When he got drafted by the Orioles and decided not to sign, in my head, I'm like, man, like baseball's crazy. Like you never know. Like you could get hurt. You could get into slump.
yeah,
Like whatever. Like I thought him not signing. I'm like, wow, that's you're banking on yourself, right? Like it's
yeah,
a bet. So went back to Richmond for his senior year. Played well. I think his numbers dropped a little bit, but like still overall good year. Originally committed to Georgia. Then I believe
oh, he did.
Georgia
Yeah,
fired their coach. And I don't know if it was a new coach didn't want him or he just wanted to go somewhere where it was a more stable,
mhm.
like he knew what he was going to get. First off, that Clemson coach was awesome.
Oh yeah, dude, that dude rules.
Jumping in the crowd, getting them fired up after he got ejected, just awesome. But he ends this year he hit 313, OPS of I think that's 955, 9 home runs, finishes with 31 in his college career.
All right.
It's interesting. Like I don't know what because like talent wise, he's obviously one of the most talented players that'll get picked in the top 20 rounds in the country. I stand by that. But when you're a
Yeah,
fifth year senior, you don't really have as much leverage. Do you think it's more likely
yeah,
that he just signs as an undrafted free agent? I
yeah.
have no idea. I have no idea.
I have no clue. Not a clue at all. I really I try to understand the draft and that stuff. I don't, but because like, yeah, he's older, so he lost leverage, but also he's really good. So maybe someone's going to want to take him instead of like kind of playing the sweepstakes of like a UDFA type thing.
That was what I was thinking. It's more like like if it's a 19th or 20th round, you're like, I want to make sure we get him,
Yeah, and
that's
even then later on in those drafts, like some guys will just like say don't draft me so they can be a UDFA and kind of choose where they go.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
do you think there's any chance we see him in back in black and white this summer until the draft comes around?
Probably a good chance. I feel like which is
I don't. Yeah, I don't
terrifying.
know. Last year he played for the Trenton Thunder in that MLB draft league.
Yeah, yeah.
But then once the draft came and he didn't get picked, I think that's when he came back. So
Yeah,
I don't know. What's up?
It'll be interesting to see. Also, like he played a full season of like ACC baseball, you might not need to go to a draft league if you want to just go home and chill for a
Also
little bit.
true. Also true. But you also do want to stay ready, because
Yeah,
you're going to
for
go
sure.
straight, like, maybe take like a week or two off to just like sleep and then go from there.
You can get some meaningful reps off me. Just get them prepared.
Have a minor league caliber changeup ready to go.
Here's 80 miles an hour flat.
Yeah.
Prepare
you haven't seen this all year, so
it's something he has not seen this year.
That's true. But congrats to Alden. Hopefully we can get him back on the show, catch up before the draft, and talk about this whole experience at Clemson. Two guys we know we're going to be getting on the pod soon. National champions with Misericordia Baseball. It's Drew Van Horn and Brian Henry. I'm going to pull up the exact stats, but after not playing in the regional tournament or super regionals, Garnet Valley alum Drew Van Horn.
I think.
What's up?
I think it was 9 for 19.
9 for 19 as a freshman in the D3 College Baseball World Series. What a freak. I don't know. And I'm going to have to ask him about this when he comes on. I don't know if he was thrown in because somebody got hurt or just whoever was in front of him just got cold and they're like, all right, you're back up. But in his playoff game, so it looks like they started with Lynchburg. So he had 2 hits, 1, 2, 0, 2, 2, and 0. So he had 4 multi-hit games. Out of 7 games. Yeah, out of 7 games, 4 multi-hit. Ends the season hitting 298. I don't recall seeing him. No, I don't think he didn't have any homers. More importantly, how many hit by pitches? Only 3. That's not the Misericordia way. Although 57 at bats, 3 hit by pitches is pretty respectable. All right, but overall, I think Brian Henry we talked about. I think he was hurt, came back, just wasn't. It wasn't right.
Wasn't ready at that point.
Yeah, so it wasn't right. Hey, he gets a ring too, and he contributed earlier in the year. So congrats to both of those guys. Excited to get them on. They beat, kind of funny enough, just on a personal note, my club team for Penn State won the national championship. We beat Wisconsin Whitewater. That is also who Misericordia beat in the Division III World Series. I think Whitewater won like 3 or 4 national titles like recently. So this was kind of.
They won in, I think it was 07. There was something in the 2000s and then like 2015. So I think they were going for their 3rd. But they're historically a very good D3 program. Yeah,
we're just getting started with the Cougs because Jake McDonough from Haven and Will Tamar from Haverford High School public school will be headed there next year.
Oh yeah, so we're only adding.
Yeah, only adding. Looking forward to that first national championship for Misericordia. Shout out to the boys. 2 more guys that brought home national championships. As foreshadowed, the Penn State club baseball team, back-to-back national championships. Drew LaMonica, who I actually saw join the live at one point. LaMonica popped in he went to Stoga. He had a good World Series. He started, I think, every game in center, maybe left. Had a couple multi-hits. The national championship, he had 2 hits and a walk. So very cool to see from a guy who spent his first 2 years on the D2 club. My favorite thing about LaMonica is, so like when you join the club, there's 2 teams and there's like one full set of like 1 to 55 uniforms that, so like all the, like the D2 team is just a bunch of high numbers. So LaMonica was 53 as a freshman. He still wears 53. He still wears
that.
So
I absolutely love that.
Like I was 49 when I joined the club and I ended with 25. Yeah. But like he's just stuck with 53 because he says he has drip that no one else has.
I respect the hell out of that.
That's an unreal line.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah, it's real. Hey, it worked out. He's gonna have a ring with 53 on it. So.
Oh yeah. There's 2 of them now.
Got the hat. No, he was not on the club last year. He was on the team. I was actually the only Delco guy on that team last year.
I thought Owen Mathis was.
Oh, he was on D2.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We had District 1 guys. We had Westchester Henderson. We had Ruston. We had not District 1, but PCL LaSalle. So we had a couple North Penn guys. So got some District 1 love there. But
love it.
That's I think that's pretty much overall we got for today. As we mentioned, like we will talk about the Phillies and MLB and stuff, but right now it's just not exactly pressing stuff going on. The Phillies kill everybody. They had a their loss today felt like very, late 2010s, early 2020s Phillies, but they've earned the right to have a couple stinkers like that. They've been so good. They'll get Trey back soon. They'll get Marsh back soon. Mm-hmm. I'm not worried about Alvarado. The boys will be fine.
No, yeah. Well, Alvarado has a blow up every once in a while, and every other, and from then on out, he's lights out. So that's all right.
You know
It
who
happens.
only ever has a dominant outing or gets lit up is Greg Soto.
Greg Soto,
All he
yeah,
does is let up 0 or 6. Like he's so bizarre.
he's just a flip of a coin of like the
Yeah,
best pitch you've ever seen, or just 95 down the middle, getting sprayed all over the
all the
field.
time. Yeah, but yeah, no, we'll definitely. I would say whenever Bonner's run's done, college baseball is still going on, but our Delco, I don't think we have any Delco college players left with all
Yeah,
the going down. So, um, we'll start getting more Delco League and Phillies is going to be a lot of this show during the summer.
yeah, for sure.
I think we can also get our little league stuff back, and it seems like Senior Legion's kind of coming back a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be cool to do stuff. I mean, I guess they were in before. I think it'd be cool if we could like do stuff with the mainline Legion because I was going and looking at the roster. There's a lot of guys like from the Central League and like, yeah, mostly Central League, but it's a decent amount of guys we
Yeah,
know.
like
Going
I want Legion to be looked at as the league where you go when you're not quite good enough in high school to start and play a lot in the Delco League, which is nothing to be ashamed of. You're playing all college
No,
guys.
yeah,
A lot of high school guys can do it. The guys who don't, nothing against it. I probably couldn't have done it when I was a senior in high school. I just,
no, yeah,
wasn't good enough yet, and that's why I played Legion. So I think Legion should be that, that middle ground where it's like you want to play every day and play against good competition, but you're not ready to face. We got guys playing Division I baseball in this league. Like it's hard. It's hard. I don't know what else to say.
yeah. Legion was also a cool thing where it's like, I mean, so obviously you play. It's probably like sophomore through like senior, and even like a little like some younger freshmen in
I did.
college.
I did after my freshman year of college, just because my
Yeah,
birthday.
but it's I don't know, it's also kind of one of those things where when you're older, it's one of the last times you're going to get to play with all the guys from your town.
Exactly.
Especially once like high school's over. That like I don't know, for me, like I played Legion, like the summer going into college, and it was like that was the last time I was ever going to play with like pretty much any of the guys
Yeah.
like I grew up playing with.
Oh,
So
it was so cool
it was
because
always a cool thing.
a lot of the guys in my high school class, we all went to play college baseball elsewhere, and then we got to
Yeah.
come back for one last summer, playing with each other.
Oh yeah, it's
Which
incredible.
was awesome. Like Drew Robinson was at McDaniel, Will Carey's at Susquehanna. We all kind of came back for one last run, and I think we did okay, but it was still cool.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, everybody, we're looking forward to this Bonner and Hollidaysburg game tomorrow. I believe so. I hope the PIAA isn't listening to this, but I mean, Bonner usually streams their games on the Bonner Live Facebook. I didn't even like apply to stream this game because I know it's like multiple $100s to do it like officially. Until we have a little more revenue coming in, I don't think that's something that we're going to be able to make work. But you can follow along. I'll be tweeting from either my account or the Delco Baseball account video updates from the game. I'll try and get some pictures as well. But as always, thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully we got a state championship game preview coming up on Thursday night. But
for sure.
Best of luck to the Bonner boys. We'll be there. We'll see you. We'll catch up soon.